Chapter 6: How to Become a Hacker. The Painstaking Guide to Becoming an Actual Hacker. In this chapter, we're going to talk about how you can become a real hacker. Well, the first thing you do is you just Google this question, and all of the results will be about to life or software hacking, which is not really the same as computer hacking, but is conceptually the same thing. And they will flame you about hacker attitude. They're just going to tell you you need to have the hacker attitude to become a hacker. Well, you certainly do need the attitude, but attitude is not enough to be a hacker. What we're talking about is information security hacker, also known as computer hacker. Just like the general hacker, it requires deep understanding of subject matter, much better than the average engineer, so you can see things that they miss. When I want to use an example for hacking, I usually use the analogy of stealing money from the bank. So if they ask you, is it possible to steal money from the bank? The answer is, it depends on a lot of different things. But the ultimate answer is always yes. It doesn't matter how secure a bank is. It doesn't matter how high profile and protected it is. It is eventually hackable. A larger group, a more well-armed group, a more interested group can eventually hack even the toughest bank. But the less secure a bank is, it's easier for run-of-the-mill hackers or the bank robbers to rob that bank. So how do we actually rob a bank? Well, I'm not an expert on that field, but from what I've seen on the movies, you first have to understand how the bank works. You have to really deeply understand how everything happens in a bank to be able to exploit some of that and get access to the systems. I receive tons of emails daily asking me how to quickly become a hacker. Well, unfortunately, there's no shortcut to being a hacker. There is no hacking pill. You can't really be a hacker overnight or over 3 months, unless you're just happy to be a script junkie, in which case you would still have to spend about a year, but you wouldn't eventually be a good hacker. So what I say is that mastery of any subject field requires 5 to 10 years of education and practice. And the same applies to hacking, which is an advanced topic. First, you need to know computer programming, because computer programming is understanding how computers talk and think. And without it, one cannot hack computers. You certainly can hack people, but computers have their own language, and we have to understand that. A hacker must be a master programmer. C programming is definitely required because that's how the hardware works, but also at least one high-level language such as Java, PHP, and Python is required because a lot of modern applications are high-level. You also need to know some software engineering and programming language theory to be able to be a good hacker. A hacker also needs to know computer networking. Although computer networks are based on computer science, they're completely different from computer programs. Networks are important because they enable remote access. Hackers don't really want to hack locally. They don't want to walk over to a computer and hack it there. They would prefer to sit at their homes or at their offices and hack over the internet. So a hacker needs to have a full comprehension of TCP/IP, which is the default internet protocol stack. They need to understand network architectures and designs, and they need to recognize bottlenecks and weak points over the computer networks. Hackers definitely need to know web application security because it's a trending topic and it's relatively easy. It's also a very high impact topic. A good starting point is the OWASP top 10 list, which we talked about. You can just Google that and read through the list. And OWASP in general is a general good resource for understanding web application security. Once you're an advanced hacker on web application topics, you can start by practicing in CTFs, which are capture the flag competitions. These are the hacking competitions that happen from time to time. You can use the website CTF Time to track them and participate in them. Reverse engineering is definitely an ability that hackers need to know. Reverse engineering is the ability to go back from code to source code. helps a hacker understand how software works without having access to its documentation. It's a highly creative skill, which also requires a lot of practice. For example, binary reverse engineering would require tools such as GDB, Radar, Pro, and other professional tools, and a lot of training. There's also Java, Python reverse engineering. It enables you to detect vulnerabilities, and it also helps you find malware and analyze malware. Hackers then need to understand exploit development. It's the knowledge to turn vulnerabilities into exploits. It's a very advanced topic. It requires a lot of experience and practice. It requires mastery of reverse engineering. You can start it via Google, and then there are a lot of workshops and advanced courses out there. It's a trade secret mostly, so you won't find the same exploitation methods everywhere. Each company, each firm, each training facility has its own instructors and methods. But once you get a good understanding and a basic ability to do exploit development, you would want to practice that on CTFs. And finally, cryptography. It's the science behind information security. It involves a lot of math, but not the kind you saw in college. It uses mostly number theory, which is a different branch of mathematics. It's a very rigorous and proof-based topic. There are lots of books out there because cryptography is an academic subject, and it requires years of practice to master. But even the basic hacker should know something about cryptography. For example, they need to know what RSA is, how it works, what are block ciphers, what are stream ciphers, and things like that. And finally, participating in capture the flag. CTFs are the way to peer review your skills, unless you work for a military organization, in which case it would probably be illegal to participate in CTFs. They help you hone your skills against other hackers. That's how CTFs work. A bunch of hackers go to an event and compete against each other. You learn from them and you teach to them. There are many good CTFs out there, and to shine, you need to form a team, because participating in CTFs alone is hard, because each hacker is usually a master of one particular subject. Alright, that's the end of our course. I hope you enjoyed the course, and now you have a much better understanding of how hackers actually hack systems, and how you can become a hacker and protect yourself against hackers. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a message or email. Thank you.